Right now from Rick's Firearm Academy of Detroit, I want to welcome to the program our friend Rick Ector. Rick, how are you, sir?
Hey, man, I am great. How are you today?
I am excellent. I appreciate you coming on the program. Happy pre-Thanksgiving to you.
Man, you know what? And you beat me to it. I wrote a note here. Beat Cam to the happy Thanksgiving greeting, man. Happy Thanksgiving to you as well.
Listen, I appreciate you coming on the program. And, again, I guess if there's lots of stuff to be thankful for, but maybe one of the things that Michigan gun owners and perhaps Detroit area gun owners can be thankful for is that you still have a pro-gun legislature there in Michigan, which is good because this bullet bill piece of legislation that just passed unanimously by the Detroit City Council. Help me out with this, Rick, because I'm looking here at the coverage from Fox 2 in Detroit, and I'm a little confused. They call this a bullet bill gun control resolution. They say the resolution limits ammunition amounts that can be bought while requiring a mental health background check, raises taxes. Is this a resolution in that this is what we want, or is this an ordinance in that this is how it's going to be?
Well, it's definitely not an ordinance. What it is, it's a public statement by that body that this is something that they would be in support of. Actually, we have on the books a state law. We call it a firearms ammunition preemption bill. And essentially what it states is that the only entities that can make laws that are valid in this entire state are the state legislature and the federal government. This resolution isn't worth the paper that it was written on. It's a political statement that they all want to make right after the elections were done, and they can express their anti-gun sentiment without experiencing any backlash from the wrath of pro-gun, gun-owning voters in the Metro Detroit area.
Talking again with our friend Rick Ector from Rick's Firearm Academy of Detroit. And so, as you say, you've got firearms preemption. Although I also have to note, Rick, that doesn't seem to matter much to gun control advocates these days. I mean, they are in Florida. You've got a number of localities that are challenging in court that state's firearm preemption law. In Pennsylvania, you've got I think it was the mayor of Pittsburgh and at least one city council member who said, we don't care about firearms preemption law. We're going to pass our own gun control laws in Pittsburgh and let them sue us. So, I suppose we could see that coming from the Detroit City Council or the Wayne County government, because this bill was originally introduced at the county level, right?
Well, it was originally introduced at the county level. The individual who is pushing this, he needs something to do to keep himself occupied. He had assumed the remainder of a county commission post. The person died, and they appointed him to fill the position. He didn't know how to run for re-election, so his name was tossed off the ballot. And so now my opinion is he's auditioning for some position in state government. And this is a great way to get his name in the general public and let folks know where he stands on guns. We have a firm law on the books that no resolutions or any local ordinances whatsoever have any force of law, and it's basically nothing, and it's an opportunity to get his name in the headlines.
All right. Well, I'm glad that we've got that firewall, but we also know, again, this is what they want, Rick. And this is another effort that is aimed. I mean, if they got this bill and they say they want to take this federal, this is another bill, whether it becomes a state law, a federal law, or becomes no law at all. It is a measure that is aimed squarely at those legal, law-abiding gun owners. This does not touch the violent criminals. It doesn't even aim in their direction.
Well, the thing about bad guys, and the politicians are acutely aware of this, is that no legislation that you can enact or put on the books is going to affect or change the behavior of bad guys. By definition, this is what they do. Every night we turn on our local telecast and we see where law-abiding citizens are victimized, and occasionally we see a story where a lawfully justified citizen took matters, into their own hands with regards to lawfully protecting themselves. We have general understanding that it is your individual responsibility to be your own protector. We have right to carry here. And now they're constantly attacking law-abiding gun owners. And you know what? It's frustrating, but that's what they do. And it just means that we have to be resilient and we have to resist them and fight them every step of the way. But this proposed legislation, this resolution, it means absolutely nothing legally.
Again, our friend Rick Ector is with us from Rick's Farm Academy, Detroit. And Rick, let's talk about those legal gun owners there in the Detroit area because you're training an awful lot of them. I know every time that you have your yearly event where you've got dozens of firearms instructors and any woman who wants to come and use a firearm, learn how to use it, can do so absolutely free. You guys get hundreds of folks that are showing up, but your regular concealed carry courses. I know that you've got, relatively new gun owners. Gun owners have decided to become concealed carry holders. What is the interest like right now? And does interest go up when residents around the Detroit area start seeing the anti-gun moves made by local politicians?
Man, everything that comes into the media has a positive impact on interest with regards to taking on a more active role in personal protection. When you see the successful self-defense stories, when you see individuals who propose these idiotic anti-gun gun control legislation, it all feeds into more people hearing about firearms and the right to protect themselves. Our own U.S. Supreme Court has made it very clear that it is each individual's duty and right to protect himself. It is not the government's right to prevent you from being protected from crime. Our annual ladies event, man, we've had such success with it. We gave 700 women a free shooting lesson earlier this year in May, and I am going to boldly predict that I want to train 1,000 women this upcoming May. And I'm still trying to get you and the guys on the hook to do your show from Detroit, man.
Listen, I would love to do it. I would absolutely love to, Rick. And we'll see if we can make that happen. Again, that's coming up in May, so that'll be after the NRA annual meetings in Indianapolis, Indiana. So I know we'll be seeing each other there, right?
Mm-hmm. Indiana is so close to Michigan, man. I could drive to Indiana in my sleep.
Well, so here's the deal. Like the NRA annual meeting is April 26th, 27th, 28th of 2019 in beautiful Indianapolis, Indiana. I don't know when in May you're scheduled. Do you have a date yet?
It's always the Sunday immediately after Mother's Day. Okay. There's a date there. I don't even know what day it is. It's always the Sunday after Mother's Day.
All right. Well, that's probably later in the month of May. I was going to say, I don't think I can just hang out in the Midwest for a month. We might have to come back home for a few weeks and then come back.
You can come in, unpack all the equipment, do the show, throw it back into the trailer, and get out of town, man. I just want you for one day.
Okay. All right. We will endeavor to make that happen. In the meantime, Rick, thank you so much for everything you do. Thank you for coming on the program, and I hope you have a very, very happy Thanksgiving.
Man, thanks for having me. As always, give Mr. Pop my regards and happy Thanksgiving to you, my friend.
Thank you so much. Rick Ector joined us on the program. Very thankful. We've got guys like Rick up there in the Detroit area as Second Amendment advocates, as firearm instructors, teaching real gun safety.